Hi, everyone. This is Dan Toner, the health insurance agent for Windmill Alliance. I'm here towards the early part of September to sort of explain our transition, what we're going to do on the upcoming October 1 renewal. On the screen, I'm sharing a couple of different things. I have a spreadsheet that I'm going to forward to you. So I'm going to review that. Notice, by the way, on the plan name at the top, you have currently the member health plan, which uses the Aetna Select Open Access Network. It's an in-network only network, but it is nationwide. If you click on the name of the plan name, it's a hyperlink, so that'll launch a full benefit summary. And this way you'll be allowed to see sort of global benefits. The other thing too is when you hit file print, at the very bottom, there are footnotes that say AD means after deductible, DW means deductible waived. So a couple just housekeeping items about my spreadsheet. Column D is your current renewal plan. It's the same on October 1 that you currently, so in other words, they weren't changing the benefits, but the member health plan increased the rates well over 20%. So that's going to be a cost not just to Windmill, but to you guys. So we didn't want to do that. And we actually found if we went direct to Aetna, we had a very similar plan. Matter of fact, the benefits are richer on a lot of coverage lines, which I'm going to go over in a second. However, little snafu in that Aetna will not let us, because of confidentiality and sort of a non-compete within its own market, come from the member health plan who uses Aetna. It's a little of a conflict of interest. It's okay if you come from another carrier, but you can't come from somebody using Aetna. So we spoke to our Aetna sales representatives, even though we love this plan proposal too, and they said if you go to another carrier for even for a month, we can then terminate that plan and then change. So what we're going to do, and excuse the unorthodox method this year, is we're going to purchase an AmeriHealth health savings account, very similar coverage to what we have today, for the month of October. And then we're going to terminate it at the end of October and transition to this Aetna plan for that very reason. So a couple of different things. You guys have health savings accounts, which are high deductible plans. The reason we did that is because Windmill has, with that company called OCA, they have a reimbursement to give you money back to cover that deductible. So once you meet the deductibles, you typically owe copays that you see on the screen, up to a maximum out of pocket. In this case, it's $6,550. We're going to purchase the AmeriHealth, what's called Regional Preferred. It's their largest network plan. We're going to keep your cost the same for that you're paying today on your paycheck for this plan for the month of October. It's a $2,500 deductible, so it's a little higher. They will honor any deductible you met. So if you met $2,000, we just have to tell AmeriHealth that you met it, and then you only owe $500 more. If you happen to have a lot of expenses in October, once you meet the deductible, you'll notice that you pay a lot less than you did under the AmeriHealth, under the member health plan, meaning once you meet your deductible, you don't owe any copay to the doctor, specialist, hospital, surgery, MRI, X-ray lab, etc. The only thing you owe after the deductible is a 30% payment for emergency room or a $15 generic medication copay or a 50% payment for name brand up to a maximum of $125. It's a great plan. The reason we don't want to keep it long-term is because it's not nationwide. It doesn't allow access into New York. It doesn't allow access into other states. There is a Philly access, but we want to protect our employees by giving New York access just because of our proximity. And it's very similar pricing to Aetna, so we just think this plan called Proposal 2 on the screen is a lot better because of the following. Number one, it lets us use the Choice 2 network, which is the largest network Aetna offers. It keeps a very similar deductible to what we have today, but a much better out-of-pocket. Remember, the out-of-pocket, maximum out-of-pocket, MOOP, means once you meet your deductible and you pay copays, the maximum you owe is $3,450. That's basically half of what we owe today. So that's why we like this plan. It's a bigger network, much lower out-of-pocket, and it even has an out-of-network benefit, which you can go to a non-Aetna doctor without an emergency room, and you'll have a reimbursement of 50% after you meet a separate deductible. High deductible, but at least it's something that we don't even have today. So the pricing is good for us from a premium standpoint. The benefits are better. Only thing we had to do is come from AmeriHealth. I'm also going to show on the screen how you look up doctors. So for the month of October, if you go to AmeriHealthNJ.com and click Find a Doctor, you'll notice it says I have it through my job. And you go down to the regional preferred, you're going to pick the first one that says regional preferred EPO. And that's how you can look. You'll change your location to Bayonne or wherever you're comfortable with changing, and then you look up your doctors. For the Aetna organization, we're going to go to Aetna, AETNA.com. And on the top where you see resources, you can click service and find a doctor. And when you get to the Aetna site, this is what it's going to look like. You don't have to log in until you're a member, but you'll type a location. So for example, I could put maybe Bayonne and click it. You can mess with the mile radius. You could put a zip code, etc. And once you get into the site, we're going to narrow it by going down to the third purple section called the Aetna Open Access. And right at the top, it says Choice POS 2. You'll notice that's the same thing that says here, Choice 2. So that's the name of the network. Once you select that and hit continue, you're now in. You can type in your doctor. You can click the icons at the bottom. This, obviously, it's a very similar network to what we have today. So this POS network is larger than our Aetna network that we have today. So again, excuse the sort of unorthodox way that we're going from one plan just to another plan for a month, but it really secures and allows us to secure a better contract with Aetna moving forward for November 1. And then that health plan will renew every November 1.